Well, after years of contention inside the Ontario legislature, Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath and Premier Doug Ford sat down together for the first time today. The meeting happened prior to an announcement about job creation in the city. And as Jason Guidola reports, both echoed a welcoming working relationship while the city faces pressing issues.
I also want to welcome Mayor Horwath, who I'm thrilled to be standing with instead of standing across the aisle from her.
From legislative opponents to now colleagues. Today, Hamilton's mayor and Ontario's premier met again, but this time to discuss the city's future.
There are things that where we have obvious difference of opinion, but what we're both committed to is having a relationship where we can have those kinds of conversations in an environment that's helpful and productive for Hamiltonians.
The two politicians spoke to the media during a $15 million investment announcement at Canada's oldest bakery, Bimbo Canada, on Nebo Road. Mayor Andrea Horwath says she discussed jobs, manufacturing, and business development with Premier Doug Ford, but adds they didn't touch on specifics when it came to other matters involving Hamilton and the province, like the urban boundary.
There are going to be areas where we disagree. Right now we have about 34,000 units that are ready to be built in Hamilton.
Yesterday, all provincial opposition leaders penned a letter to Ontario's Auditor General asking to conduct a value-for-money audit on the Ford government's decision to open up the Greenbelt. In Hamilton, the move is facing backlash from advocates and even council members, including Horwath, citing environmental concerns and cuts in development fees from builders.
Well, again, I'm going to have to disagree. They're going to get more revenues when these homes are built and these buildings are built. Nothing would be worse than having, 300,000 people every year showing up to the GTA, Hamilton, and Toronto, because that's where they're going to land, and not have any housing.
From homes to sewers. For the second time in less than 2 months, City of Hamilton officials discovered another sewage leak into Hamilton Harbor this week. Environment Minister David Piccini says the city has been transparent but demanded a sewage system audit back in November.
We have enforcement and compliance officers through our spills division that were immediately here on site and are working closely with the mayor.
Well, again, this is why it's important to keep those relationships strong because it's a lot of work and it could have some significant financial implications.
On the roads, construction for Hamilton's LRT is slated to begin next year. A project once canceled by the Tories in 2019, claiming operating costs would be too high. Today, with rising inflation, Ford was asked about it again.
Well, I don't know if it's unaffordable, but over the last few years, we've seen labor costs go up, material costs go up. Yes, is it probably going to go up? It will, but nothing's more important to give the people of Hamilton proper transit.
I'm going to do everything I can as mayor to make sure that project stays on track.
Jason Guidola, CHCH News.